Hey there, Nancy Drew Clue crew. I'm Maura, and welcome to another video walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game series. Today I'm playing Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, the 13th game in the series, so let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior.
And of course I'm going to go with Junior Detective.
Here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray, I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance
Charlena
novels
from, if you remember, the phone character from Secret of Shadow Ranch.
Real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci, only the most
Ooh, he definitely looks very Italian-American.
And then there's Frank
as his
and
name
Joe
sounds,
Hardy.
too.
They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend, Natalie?
Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right, I'll bet you're wondering where we're going. Well, we're going to Copper Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because, see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Hey, what's going on?
People should never go tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, brother. It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Lori Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
So you think her disappearing like that is just some kind of publicity stunt?
I just think she couldn't resist showing off in front of all of us minor celebrities. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew. You and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
So she doesn't. Great.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy. Come here.
Excuse me for a second.
Okay, so since this all started automatically right after the letter, so this is our first game of joining with the Hardy Boys. So we're gonna help them and not people on this train solve an old mystery, rather than us just doing it completely on our own, although as Nancy will kind of be the ones to have to do that, but it's not like the typical cases Nancy solves in its preceding games.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Did you talk to him?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you ask him about it?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Do you think maybe one of Laurie's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Laurie disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later.
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the passengers, and I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
Did you know she was going to disappear?
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Mr. Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Mr. Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
But Laurie may not even be on the train anymore.
Look, Mr. Gerard may not be a rocket scientist or anything, but even she knows better than to jump off a moving train.
But
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run.
Alright, we're not gonna get help from him.
a square and a duck.
So let's go at least go around and start looking for clues and talking to people.
It looks like there's something behind this painting, but I can't seem to move it. Sadie Crawford. Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very comforting. I suspect normal people would have found it terrifying.
Yeah, probably.
Yes?
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
You are, but I'm quite used to disturbances. You see, I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those two most wonderful of all three-letter words, the end. Everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Boulet, who died about a year after they were married.
Just 1 year.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
Where did he meet Camille?
I don't know that. The circumstances surrounding her passing are a bit of a mystery, too. All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere. Although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated and its location quite unknown.
Why do you think Laurie invited you on this trip?
No doubt because I'm such an authority on life in the Old West, and because I'm so good at using old information to unearth new information. My knack for research is, well, it's a gift.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
My publisher thanks you.
All right, now let's start exploring. So we can not only just jump to one car. So it's
Pretty. Looks
like a
some
gemstone.
kind of gemstone.
oh, look at this. We obviously have to match it like the picture. Okay, all right, you got it right.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buhl for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key.
Or is it lead is the key?
Lead is the key.
Well, we'll be finding out soon. And in this game, with the cell phone, you can take pictures. That differs from the last couple of previous games. And you got... Don't worry, Lucy's no hacker.
This must
I mean,
have been
Nancy's no
a
hacker.
car.
Why did I say Lucy? Oh, look at this.
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
Well, this looks like a clue of some sort, but we won't find out until like 2/3 into the game. So let's just keep going on to the other cars, whatever they're supposed to be called.
Hey, come on over here. Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen your TV show.
Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing.
Oh, heck no. Why, you're measuring the who's
the what's his own with your
trusty
gizmometer
thing.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Laurie's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Laurie's whereabouts.
Are you saying that Camille's ghost kidnapped Laurie?
What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. And that's my working theory, at least.
Okay.
That's a little hard to swallow.
It's all very scientific. But the fact is, Laurie's missing. And I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
Yeah, right.
Charlene Purcell thinks Laurie is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlene Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
What do you think of Tino Balducci?
I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
Yeah, I probably isn't even that good of a cop anyway.
First time I met her
In
was
the
when I
first
boarded
place.
this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Maybe she planned it that way.
You mean so we concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type.
I'll let you get back to work.
Take care.
All right.
The Little Book of Samplers.
Yes, this has answers for something that'll come later.
This looks like some sort of game. Nothing happens. I'll bet I'd have to wind it up first.
Yep. And so yeah, with this you gotta jump before the hurdle passes over. And it's usually like right in the center, like seconds before the hurdle comes, that you have to press the button to make the horse jump. Otherwise it'll skip over it and you're forced to restart. It's so hard to keep up with it though. Yikes.
I did it! Wonder what's in here.
Countdown races, obviously.
Teddy Eberhardt.
Well, what do you say we put this on and... Like, ooh.
Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. Just about took out my eardrums. You can play that thing when I'm done. I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay.
So we can't yet. But
Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano.
this is what we're supposed to... we have to know these notes to play some... know the piano keys to know the notes and
Thomasina
play them on
O'Neill.
that sheet of music.
It's locked. Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers. I wonder what's under here, and what the deal is with those weird-looking bowls.
Something else I forgot to look at.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Yeah,
Hello? Nancy.
Bess and George.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Beth, just calm down. Oh, what if you're not just as curious as I am? She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke, she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing?
What do you think she isn't called? What do you think Lori Gerard is wearing?
Oh, George, that is so not true. I couldn't care less what Lori Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Beth, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool. Nice try, Beth. No, really. You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Lori. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the time she was allegedly kidnapped from her Vegas hotel room? Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape. It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning. Only it turns out she faked the whole thing. Of course, she claims her ex-boyfriend faked it to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped. Why can anybody believe that?
Sounds to me like somebody's been spending a lot of time reading the tabloids.
George has. Very funny. So what else is going on?
Before she disappeared, Lori told us that the purpose of this train trip is to find out what happened to Jake Hurley, the train's original owner.
Was he murdered or something?
No one knows. He was married to a woman named Camille, but she died, and he eventually vanished while mining for gold. His train was found abandoned in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada, with no one on board but his dead engineer.
Whoa, spooky. Have any theories?
Not yet, but the train is also rumored to be haunted by his dead wife.
So first Hurley's wife dies, then Hurley vanishes, then the engineer dies, then Lori vanishes. A pattern, maybe? Beth, do us all a favor and leave the detective work to Nancy, okay?
Has either of you been to Copper Gorge, Colorado?
Never heard of the place. Why?
That's where the train I'm on is headed. Apparently Jake Hurley buried his wife Camille there after she died on the train.
He died on the train? Ew, creepy.
Jake used to see strange lights at night bobbing alongside the train and thought it was Camille dancing.
Super creepy. Yeah, I just got goosebumps.
which is hard when you're practically covered in paint.
I better go.
We'll be right here. Yeah, washing the paint out of our hair.
All right. Now we'll meet the last person, Tino.
Hey, Nancy, right?
That's right. Nancy Drew.
Amateur detective, huh? Never thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
You mean become a police detective? No, I never have.
It's a great job, you know. I loved it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Yes, I sure did.
The half-win case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers. All have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Where do you think it came from?
Probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure. In fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do?
That item that I picked up in the previous card, that was also a slug with the 7 on it.
So, what do you think happened to Lori?
Well, she could have been kidnapped. She could have been tossed off the train. She could be hiding from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
And you're gathering facts by just sitting there?
So, you're gathering facts?
Of course. It may not look it because that's my style. I'm a low-key kind of guy. But hey, don't worry. I'll know the facts when I know the facts. The truth can't be rushed, you know.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
You don't like her?
I can't stand those sappy books she writes. And seeing as I said as much during an interview on national TV once, it's a pretty safe bet she doesn't like me.
Have you talked to John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I talked to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
Thanks for your help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
Alright, so we have to look at this stuff in here. This is important. These are going to be important, these different kinds of gemstones. I've already seen a few.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean?
Well, if you just looked at the periodic table as I did, that means silver, but we don't, and with a color wheel, but we don't know the sequence, so we can't open it yet.
Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard.
Looks like she was a doll collector.
J.H. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Oh, this one's easy. So if there's other greats or that great in the previous card and that with one with the combination and the painting of the eagle, they all have pipes, but this is the only one we can open right now. So we have to connect them all. Will the pipes do something once they're connected? Yes, they will, but we won't know till later on.
There, all done.
All right.
Another gemstone.
Looks like I think we'll be finding some more of them. Oh wait, I've overlooked something here on the floor.
Eliza Sandberger. An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall. Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler.
And this is locked.
It's locked.
That's because we have to put in the correct numbers for these pictures as they appeared on the sampler. So I think 7 for the owl, 3 for the cherry. All right, now we should open. Yep, that's looks like we'll need more slugs to open up, get the correct numbers for the square and the duck to open up that oven in the front car. Okay, we need some answers about what this stuff is. We'll find them in the drawers. Another slug. Silver.
What do all those colors have to do
Well,
with
that's the
silver?
color sequence we have to push to get that device off the cigar box. So, yeah.
Looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon. Those are all gemstones, I think.
Thirsty. Wonder who that is. Okay, this may not seem important, but we have to look at the name here, capitalized, Naughty Tina, and I'll get to that later. So now that we've looked at that map, we know that several tools have to go here.
This is where Jake's pickaxe goes. Jake said a lamp goes here. Jake said a spyglass goes here.
And this is where the this right here is where the gemstones go, but we don't know which one goes where yet.
Folders. I have no idea which one goes where. I wonder what's supposed to go here.
Okay, so that's locked.
Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this.
Which 8 letters?
The question is, which 8 letters?
Alright, so this is again a random puzzle. It's sort of like that in the final scene that you have to find it's always random, but you press down a button. If you get it right, then you have to figure out the next sequence until they're all pressed down. Oh, 2, 1, 3, that's easy. I don't think it's ever happened to me before. Have 3 in a row, that to be all correct. Here we go. Drat. 3, 4, 5. Oh, thank heaven. Alright, so we go into the caboose, and guess who's back here?
Lori?
Lori.
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing on the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
Was anyone else in on the trick?
Just the engineer, and all he did was keep his mouth shut. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
I think you were going to explain why you kidnapped yourself.
Oh, right. Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille. So I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Maybe I did.
Sure
or maybe
you
I just
did.
thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Hardy guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show. And I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train. And now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those robberies. Inviting him here for this was a no-brainer. I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good. In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, just to see what she thought.
And
she hated them.
I'll come back later.
As soon as you figure it out, let me know.
All right, let's look at this
The 3rd
letter
of November 1901 from
and let
somewhere in
Nancy read the
Colorado.
entire letter.
Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mine before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands, but with the information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give the dolls an order. This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you, words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado and pay your respects and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her and heard her and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
All right, that's a lot to take in, but
Looks like a dance floor meeting? Darn, the name of the shoes is so faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe Bess and George can help me figure out who made them.
all right, let's call them and ask.
Hello?
Hi, Beth.
Hey, what's going on?
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read, but to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
Hey, I know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint. Probably because Beth has gotten more on me than she has on the wall. Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone, and we'll get right on it.
Oh, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
Catch you later.
Remember, when in doubt, call.
All right, let's take a snapshot and send it to them. Then we'll call again in a few minutes to see if they've gotten it. Okay, send it to them. Picture's been sent. No, good. Okay, yeah, we don't know the steps yet, so we can't do that, obviously. Okay, here's the first clue. Cities. Yes, it does. And it's listed in the exact same order that he gives in the letter. So here's Calico. There's Silverado. Here's Central City. Okay. Here's Dodge City. Here's Virginia City. All right. Okay, and then the last one. Tombstone. All right, now that little jingle plays because we're done and we got it all right. Although it's just
Yes, I'm done.
random letters.
Strange. All that's left is a jumble of letters.
Well, there's a place for them though. In the previous card, that spot where you have to put in 8 letters, so that's what we have to put in. Let's get this tool.
Use this to open that
Great,
gate I
in
saw
Camille's car. All right, let's go back.
That must be the projector Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
Let's enter those 8 letters. Let's see. N V R Z T B A A. All right. All right.
Jake's mind must be somewhere on this map, but where?
Well, we won't know until we have all the tools and the gemstones. Now that we're back in this car, let's get that device off the cigar box. Okay. Silver is orange. So then once after each color, we hit that button. Blue, green, red, purple, yellow. There we go. Let's see what's inside.
Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance.
That's the dance step we have to use with Camille's dancing shoes.
Wilson Carbide and Acetylene Works. Always your friend, Thomas Wilson.
Well, it's the little lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
She disappeared because she wanted to see who'd find her first, which is why she left that clue behind.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue. That's why I gave it to you. I mean, I could have found Lori no sweat, but I thought, hey, why not give somebody else a shot? And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake Hurley and his mind, well, let me know, okay? But just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day,
How did you and Lori meet?
I think he
Met at a party in New York. Nice girl.
sounds like he wants to kind of get the glory for himself and so he wants us to tell him so then he can take all the credit.
Did you two go out?
Nope, no, never went out. No.
Oh, look at the way he just rapidly says, nope, never went out, nope.
What do you think?
That's
happened to
obviously
Jake Hurley?
meaning yes.
Probably died trying to work that mine of his all by himself. But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm onto something that could crack this case wide open.
You know where the mine is?
Sorry, can't go into detail. Let's just say that thanks to yours
Oh,
truly...
please. He knows
without
nothing.
Jake
He's just
Hurley,
trying to make
won't
himself a
this be
big
much longer.
ham to
You've been a
make
big
him sound like a big
Don't
deal
mention
when he's got nothing up his sleeve. All right, before I go talk to the others, let's call Bess back to see if they've got that. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Let's call Bess and George back to see if they have the name yet.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command. But hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chateauyan. CHAUSSETTCHATEAUYANTES. That's French for sure.
Well, that's a mouthful, all right.
Dancing in the 1870s. That was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chateauyan. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for letting us help.
All right, let's go do
Catch
that.
you later.
Let us know what happened.
Well, that'll come in handy with the dance step after we do the dance step, so, that we found in that cigar box. So let's do that and find out how to use that name. To arrange the dolls, but, first we have to do this. So, okay, so according to the diagram, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10. All right, we did it right. So it'll open that cabinet where all the dolls are.
I wonder how you're supposed to get this open.
Another gemstone. Well, first one I've picked up.
Guess Camille liked to collect dolls.
That she did. So how do we know how to organize them using the name we have? Well, as it turns out, each doll has an initial based on, organize them based on their first and last name to spell out Chaussette Chateauyan. So some of them are already in the right place, but we've been seeing clues about them or their pictures throughout the game. And let me tell you how you know. Okay, this is the first one, Chantilly Hildegard in the picture with Camille and Jake's car. This is Awful Ursula from that sampler with the red hair. Let's see, there's Sickly Sarah from that poem with the blue and green eye. And Edna the Terrible from the poem in the sleeping car says Mama. And Teddy Eberhardt, that plaid kilt, same as the plaid box in Camille's car, so we put him here. And let's see, Sadie Crawford. Her shoes are what I found there in the dining car. And the other male doll, the Hager Anderson, was in the picture with Camille. The other doll in the picture with Chantilly Hildegard. And let's see, Thomasina O'Neill. Her hair ribbon is on the drawer in Camille's car. With that and she has that disarranged hair. Here's Yawning Alice from the poem in the sleeping car, because as you can see, she's yawning. Naughty Tina from that note in the tool chest with that cracked head. Well, the doll is a cracked head, I mean. And then the last one, Eliza Sandberger. Paper right of couch at Jake's car. So there we go. Now it opens this drawer, and we got some more slugs that we can use on the on that scale. I don't know why we get to look at that because it's no significance. But all right, now let's go tell everyone else that we've found Lori. Let me see if now with these, if it's enough to open up the square and the duck in that little oven. Let's see. Once you have these lit up, it doesn't then matter what you have to get, but the square on the sampler number for it is 4. Let's see. All right, so we got the square lit up. And we can put all right. Oh, this is so hard for me. I usually forget how to do this. All right, so I'm gonna restart. Here we go. Finally.
Open the stove in the dining car.
I apologize for that. It's just I can't always remember the sequence of what to do to get those numbers. because sometimes you have to remove one slug and put on another one even after you've gotten the correct light for the one symbol. So now let's talk to John.
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
Me? I'm not in any trouble.
Trust me. Either you or Lori is, or
Yeah,
soon
right.
will be in big trouble.
No offense, but I don't believe you.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I won't keep you any longer.
Pleasure talking to you.
Yes, I picked up skepticism with things like this from Nancy herself, so we're both quite skeptical about ghosts and ghost hunters and what they say, in regards to their beliefs. They're saying that you're in danger because, I mean, I will only believe such stuff if you have proof, and I think Nancy does too. Okay, let's take that gemstone.
Yes? I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
And you won. Congratulations.
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots. As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
In other words, you don't think he deserves all the attention he's getting?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives. Is that all, dear?
Did you know that Lori wants to be a romance novelist?
Doesn't everyone?
Have you discussed any of her ideas with her?
No. Could we please talk about something a little more pleasant?
I should get going.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
All right.
Nancy, what's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
You found Lori.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose. And as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew where that drop-off point was.
If the engineer had any surviving relatives, we may be in luck.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her. I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it, you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her.
Show her what?
That old picture we found.
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
Balducci wants me to share everything I find out about Jake Hurley with him.
I'll bet he does.
He just doesn't want you to show him up again.
Yeah, he wants you to do all the legwork so at the last minute, bam, he can swoop in and grab all the credit.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
tell him a thing, Nancy.
I think he's jealous that an less experienced amateur detective found Lori and he didn't. All right, there's another gemstone right there. So let's take it, obviously. Let's see, if I go up here. Here's that button that
So, Lori
We press
pushed that
push
button,
to
slid the shelves open further,
squeeze.
through, and disappeared. Very
So
clever.
that's how she disappeared. Now let's look at the oven here. If this was an oven, I mean, that's what it looks like.
It's thirsty.
So that's what he's thirsty nose. So that's what he meant. It's, I had a little nickname for him, I guess. All right, let's tell the guys that we think we know his name.
Back already?
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer, James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Good. Good. Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
See you later.
You know where to find us.
I forgot to use that tool on the, on the grader in that one car, so let's go ahead and do that. What the heck is that? Was that supposed to be Camille, possibly, that Jake would see? Oh, mama. Huh, so that's Jake. Kind of looks like Abe Lincoln, if you ask me. And that's Ruth.
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you used to unscrew these bolts.
Yep. Unfortunately, when you turn some, they also change the direction of others, but no worries. At least it's not timed or anything well, not like a timed puzzle where you have to get them all before the clock runs out. Okay. Ah, you're ruining everything for me. Here we go. Drat.
More pipes to connect.
Thank you. Yeah, so those other two places, as I said, the one with the lock combination in the sleeping car, and then in the dining car with that painting of the eagle, there are pipes behind those two, but we can't open them till that one till we get the correct number on the scale for the eagle painting, and then for the other one, we need to find the combination.
There we go.
All right. Whoa! What the heck?
Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
Question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Something.
Joe, now
Oh,
you sound
you
like
think it's the
Lord.
work of
Hey,
ghosts?
I was the first one on the scene. I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
There's no way Lori could have thrown the brake unless she had someone else do it.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature
brother.
may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Oh, and before I forget, let's talk to John about what we just saw in the sleeping car.
What's up?
So are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where?
That
You don't mean that little blob, do you?
that's Camille.
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
You're skeptical. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy.
Couldn't it just be a
That
flaw
blob is
in the
result of
photograph?
Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me.
I think spending too much time on that show has gone to your mind.
Car.
Really? Actually, I'm not surprised.
Charlena said Jake Hurley used to see them too, only he attributed them to his dead wife, Camille.
They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them, and the resultant voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the composition of the metals used in its construction. It was custom built, remember?
Whatever it's called, it was unnerving to say the least.
Take it from me, old Mother Nature is capable of some pretty scary stuff.
Yes, she is.
Thanks for the chat.
Goodbye.
All right. Now let's talk to Tino.
Glad you dropped in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mind.
I didn't mention it before because it's very bizarre.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional around here. Let me take a look.
Really?
I've seen enough. 2 words. Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. 5-star nut job.
You don't think there's anything helpful in there?
Nada.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find any fingerprints?
You
on the
it's
emergency
too
brake
just too
handle?
complicated for you. You don't even want to try to decipher it.
Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
So you have no idea who threw the brake?
Whoa, I didn't say that. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon, or he's toast. And he can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky past that's prone to strange accidents, now can you?
Have you confronted John with your suspicions?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
You're going to arrest him?
Hey, the train could have derailed. We're talking reckless endangerment, attempted assaults, maybe even attempted murder. John Gray wanted publicity. That's exactly what I'm going to give him.
It's been great talking to you.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah, give it back to us. Let's go talk to Lori. And then we'll talk to John about the thermometer.
Yes?
Do you have any idea who threw the emergency brake?
I know exactly who did it.
How do you know?
Well, who else could it be? Camille. None of us have
Not
any
you
reason
two.
to stop the train, but Camille? She doesn't want us to find Jake's mine, so she's going to do whatever she can to keep its location a secret.
She is dead, you know.
Well, duh. That's why I know it's her. What's more, your friend, that Jim Harley guy?
Not Jim, Joe Hardy.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's Camille, too. He just doesn't have the guts to say so.
I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
So it's true?
We went out a couple of times, yeah. As for why we stopped going out, you'd have to ask him.
Bye.
You go, girl.
So my suspicions are confirmed. His quick, hasty response of no to having us asking if they ever went out. I mean, that's obviously yes. It's a case where no means yes, you know what I mean? Okay, Alright, let's talk to John about what we learned.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
What have you got?
I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two,
Sounds like a woman singing.
hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman.
Camille.
So be careful what you say in here.
She's listening.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints. And now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Is it true that your show is in danger of being canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Were you in this room the whole time prior to that emergency brake thing?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Take care.
Want to go back forward to the dining car. It's not essential, but you can talk to the engineer again after that happened. But of course, you know, you can't after that because he'll say like, if he picks up this, better be Miss Gerard. Forget it.
Engineer,
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. I talked to you before, very briefly.
you're not the one who pulled the emergency brake, are you?
No.
Good. Because if you were, I'd have to come back there and throttle you. Old as this train is, it's a wonder it stayed on the track.
So you have no idea who threw the brake?
Like I just said, if I did, I'd be back there canning their hide. Now, if you don't mind, I gotta get back to work.
Let's talk to Charlena again.
More questions?
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those two friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
What do you think their motive was?
I don't know about your friends, but perhaps those other two simply thought it would be fun.
Boys will be boys.
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all this silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller, although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
What about his wife, Camille, dying on the train like that?
That does make the story a little more interesting. She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
How do you think Jake's engineer wound up dead on the train in the middle of nowhere?
My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way, after which the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
Well, I'll let you go.
My publisher thanks you.
All right, now let's go back and talk to Tino, because John swears he didn't do it, so I think it was Tino trying to frame him to try to make a better name for himself as a detective. Oh wait, we're in his car. Okay, Buster, hands up.
What's going on?
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
I'm a detective. You know how it is.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
If you didn't want to dump her, why did you?
You are incredibly irritating, you know that? I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a joke. That no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously. So I stopped calling.
But you didn't stop caring.
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
All right, I forgot what triggers that, but he won't talk to us right now because he's mad at us.
That looks just like the stuff John Gray has his thermometer.
That's the evidence. Yes, Tino did it.
Still don't feel like talking.
Okay, but next time I come around, better put your hands up, bucko. Let's talk to Frank and Joe to see if they have information on James Thurston yet.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
Argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Oh, come on. You heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately, we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No,
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds living.
and it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
So,
Where to find us?
alright, so we gotta ask Charlene about that, then we'll talk to the boys again.
More questions?
What were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
You weren't angry?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was
What's
Frank and Joe
tacky
Hardy
about
who
it?
were
Lacking
here,
in style for
too. Consider I
eavesdropping,
should
that
talk
makes
you
zero
when
sense
you're
to
giving
me.
all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
You stole one
Well,
of her ideas?
stole
She had
her
no business
ideas.
sending me
Sheesh.
unsolicited material. But technically, yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
Hey, how's it going?
Tino found one of John Gray's thermometers by the emergency brake hammer and is getting ready to throw the book at him.
John Gray through the emergency brake? Why would he do that?
That was my first question, which makes me wonder if maybe Tino's the one who's up to something.
I still say there's less to all this than meets the eye, if you get my drift.
I get your drift, Joe. I have lived with your drift for years. I am saddled
With your drift.
All right.
Were you able to find anything out about Jake's engineer, that James Thurston guy?
Good news and bad news. The good news is he had a wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad news is our internet service provider stopped providing before we can use our cell phones to find out anything else.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
So
Right.
then once we learn that information, we're automatically taken to Copper Gorge. Finally, it's about time we get off this train. Or at least have this train stop running for a bit. But before I get off, I'm going to see if I can talk to Tino now. Confront him about what he did. Then I'll go outside and explore. Oh, that's the mausoleum where Camille is. But before I do anything, I'm going to talk to Tino about what he did. Oh, looks like Joe and Frank have gotten off to do some exploring. Oh, and yeah, look, now that we're in the daytime, we just get off it easily, walk into the daytime from one car to the next. All right. Hands up, Buster.
I can't stay mad at a fella detective. What do you need?
You're the one who pulled that emergency brake, aren't you?
Me? What are you, joking?
You stole one of John Gray's thermometers and planted it at the scene.
You're just some teenage nobody. I don't have to listen to this.
You're right, you don't. Neither do the other passengers. But unless you give me a good reason not to, I think I'll tell them anyway.
Look, maybe I was a little hasty, pointing the finger at the ghost guy like that. Maybe all those lies people have been spreading are starting to get to me. Maybe I thought it would help if I got a little positive press by solving a crime aboard a haunted train. Maybe I apologized. And, maybe you can see fit not to let any of this go beyond this room?
Well, no harm done, I guess.
Great. Well, what else can I do for you?
Hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Don't mention it.
All right. We're gonna have to do a lot while we're here, but our first step is leaving the train and going to explore the Buell's place. Yeah. This is it. Buell's
Hey
Museum.
there! Welcome to Buell's Old Time Taffy House. Come on over here. Welcome, stranger. Listen, you by any chance get here on that private train what's parked out yonder?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
There's a rumor going around that Charlena Purcell's on board. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is.
Hot dang if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written. Best writer whatever lived. Did she get off the train too?
I don't think so. She's pretty busy.
Charlena Purcell herself right here in Copper Gorge, breathing the same air as me. Hot dang! Well, welcome, little missy. Go on in and take a gander at what life was like during the heyday of Copper Gorge whilst you sample some of our delicious homemade saltwater
Look at that
taffy.
way
So this
she-
is some kind of
words are spelled
museum?
out with
Why,
what she
it's
says
the
on.
best kind of museum, sister. It's free. You can gape and gawk and ooh and ah to your heart's content. At least you can till I close up.
Where'd all this stuff come from?
Been in the family for years. For centuries, in fact. See, Buell was my great-great-uncle. This building used to be his general store. During the glory days back in the 1880s, he commenced a pawnbrokering. So the miners Copper Gorge was crawling with back then to raise some cash to pay for grub and tools and such. But pretty soon, the mining boom went bust. And there was Uncle Buell, stuck with a whole store full of junk. Only it wasn't junk to him. Debris from lost lives and broken dreams, what he called it. Couldn't bring himself to get rid of it. So, passed it on to his kin. My great-granddaddy's the one who come up with the idea of turning the place into a tourist attraction.
And you make money by selling taffy?
Tourists just love taffy, especially when you dangle a free sample in front of them to get them hooked. Of course, it ain't really free. Some taffy on a stick will cost you 2 tokens, which you can get by winning both those games over there.
Are they hard?
Danged if I know.
Danged if I
I've
know.
never played.
I love that
But
drawl
you're getting
she
me off
has.
track here, missy. Fact of the matter is, they're free. Unless you go
Messing with the artifacts. Artifacts.
Do that.
Delicious artifacts.
Or you know what hit you.
Do you by any chance have any of Jake Hurley's things in here?
Jake who?
Hurley, he was a miner. I think he may have left a lamp and a pickaxe with your great-great-uncle.
Never heard of him. Of course, that don't mean his stuff's not here. Just means you're just gonna have to look around and see for yourself. But remember,
Susie Q, don't touch.
Great talking to you.
Ditto, little missy.
All right.
Looks like to get some taffy on a stick, I'm going to need 2 different tokens.
Are we gonna need taffy for something? Yes, we are. All right. So, 2 different games. What we have to do is beat the Yeti to the finish line, and it'll help if we can get these balls into the fireworks and the donkey, but we'll loot. But he'll go down if we get him in the snake or the bandit, and like he'll go ahead. And of course, you know, you can't predict where balls are going to land each time, so I recommend pulling many at a time to try to increase your chances of beating the Yeti. Because if you don't do anything, you're also gonna be slowed down, and the Yeti will go faster than you. Oh, rats. Alright. Dang. Well, looks like I'm gonna lose, but just keep trying. Ooh, we're coming in close. Alright, I did it. Alright, I won the token. And with this, you choose a horse, and it when it wins, you'll win the token. But it's pretty much a random puzzle. I say if you don't win the first time, just keep choosing the same horse until it wins. But it's always going to be different each time you play it. Well, you know what? Since this is the 13th game, why not go with Racer Lucky Number 13? And I'm going to win? Excellent. That usually doesn't happen whenever I play a new game on here. That doesn't usually happen, that I win both games first time each. Well, now I've got the tokens, so let's get the taffy. Alright. Alright.
This looks just like the insignia I saw
That's
in the
Jake's trunk.
I'll bet this was Jake's trunk. If this was his trunk, maybe the pickaxe and lamp that I need are inside.
Alright, let's ask the person.
You still here?
Do you know what's in that old trunk over there?
Why? You ain't been fooling with it, have you?
Oh, no, of course not. No, I just thought it might contain the lamp and pickaxe that I asked you about before.
Well, if it does, you can forget about them, 'cause it's locked. None of my kin have ever been able to figure out how to open it. Not even my cousin Alvin, and he went to junior college.
So it's never been opened?
Not since whoever owned it left it here.
I'd really like to see what's inside it.
Well, now, I certainly ain't gonna let you break it open if that's what you're getting at.
Oh, no, I would never use force, believe me. But in order to try to get it open, I would have to, touch it.
Nope, sorry, not gonna happen, little missy. Unless...
Unless?
Tell you what, you get Charlene Purcell to come in here so's I can shake her hand.
So's I can shake her hand.
With that trunk till the cows come home.
You know what? I've got a better idea.
Now, what could be better than me coming face to face with the lady who writes the finest literature this here country's ever seen?
Well, that's just it. If you would just meet her, you'd have nothing to show for it. Afterwards, she'd go her way and you go yours, and that would be it. But if you were to, say, get her autograph, well, then you'd have something to hang on the wall and brag about.
Okay, make it so's I can meet her
And get her autograph.
But the thing is, she's on a deadline, and if you take her away from her writing, she may fall behind. And if she falls behind, her publisher may pull the plug. And if her publisher pulls the plug, it could ruin her career. Do you really want to risk ruining Charlene Purcell's career?
Good heavens, of course not. All right, you just get me Charlene's autograph, and you got a deal. Just make sure she uses my name. I want it real personal-like.
You bet. And your name is?
Fatima, with an F. None of that weirdo PH stuff.
Okay, Fatima. I'll be right back.
Alright, before I go back on the train, though, let's take the stick of taffy up and see the crypt.
You startled me. Do you work here?
I do. Are you looking for someone?
Yes. Camille Hurley. She died back in the 1800s.
Ah, Camille. Beautiful crypt. Wonderful view. Good training. Whoever buried her must have loved her very much.
May I go inside it?
You may, but unfortunately you can't.
Why not?
I accidentally dropped the key down the grate that's in front of the crypt. If you can retrieve it, you can keep it. I'm having another one made. But if you do go into the crypt, just remember, you won't be alone.
Oh, goody.
Well, there's the key.
And guess what we used to get it back?
Something long and sticky.
The taffy!
Gotcha.
Alright. Another slug. Ah, this indentation looks familiar.
This indentation looks familiar. PB. CU.
Well, we use that device again with that order of the colors on the wheel to open up this crypt and the trunk. So that's what it means. Lead is the key. These are all periodic tables of the elements on the periodic table. PB means lead, Cu means copper. Yes, I was a chemistry student, so I know these short names for the elements. Okay, so let's see. What does it say what the sequence of copper is? Okay. Green. Red. Purple. Yellow. Orange. Blue. All right. Citrulline gemstone. And so we'll use the PB sequence of the colors on the trunk.
In the letter he wrote to his niece, Jake said she should go to Camille's grave and let Camille's goodness rub off on her. Rub as in rubbing, maybe? If I am supposed to make rubbings of these pillars, I'll need a pencil, which I already have, and some nice thin paper. I need something
Look,
that'll help me make sense out of all those lines.
there's something written there. In fact, this looks familiar. Doesn't it? I mean, the image looks familiar. Okay, let's go back on the train and talk to Charlena. About getting an autograph for Fatima.
More questions?
I met a huge fan of yours in town who'd really, really like your autograph. An autographed picture would be even better.
Imagine that. Me having fans way out here in the boonies. Well, I'm sure I have a picture around here somewhere. But what I don't have is a pen. Usually I just ask my assistant for one.
I have a pencil here somewhere.
A pencil won't do, dear. It has to be ink. See if you can borrow a pen from somebody.
We can talk to Tino about that.
What's going on?
Do you by any chance have a pen I could borrow?
Why, I'm surprised at you. Don't you know that every detective should carry a pen?
Actually, I carry a pencil.
Well, as it happens, I got lots of pens. Tell you what, if you can play that Leaping Lizards game I found over there and do better than I did when I played it, which shouldn't be that hard seeing as how smart you are, I'll give you a pen. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, the object of the game is to get rid of as many lizards as you can by jumping them with other lizards until you can't jump anymore. Last time I played, I wound up with just 5 lizards. If you can wind up with only 4, the pen's yours.
Alright, so trick is to try to keep them all close together so that way there's better your chances of removing them. If I don't remove 4, I can always try again. Let's see, can I move anymore? Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes I feel it's easier to win this if you're not consciously thinking about it. Okay. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, great. 3.
Did it! I
All right.
Talk about luck. Here's your pen.
I think only a couple of times I've actually
else can I
left
do for
3.
It's been great talking to you.
Anything for a fellow detective.
All right, let's go back to Charlena and get that autograph.
Have you found a pen so I can autograph that picture?
I got it from Tino. You can keep it. If you could have it say, to Fatima, that'd be great.
There you go.
All right.
Anything else?
I'll let you get back to your writing.
All right then.
Let's go give this to Fatima then. Oh,
Hey,
someone.
Nancy.
Automatically, the Hardy Boys come in.
There you are. We've been looking for you.
Yeah, you won't believe the lucky break we caught.
Lucky break? Hey, that was the result of good old-fashioned detective work.
It was the result of your insisting we stop for a cheeseburger.
Guys, what's going on?
Well, it turns out that a grandchild of Jake's engineer still lives around here.
What's more, he hangs out at the local diner. Comes in every day.
Apparently, he's pretty ancient.
Ah, and you found that out when you stopped there so Joe could get a hamburger.
Cheeseburger.
The thing is, the
Cheeseburger.
owner of the diner wouldn't agree to point the guy out unless one of us fills in for his short order cook.
He's got to go home and wait for the cable guy or something.
And since Joe here barely knows how to boil water, guess who got the job?
Way to go, Joe.
Hey, I can boil water. It's just that when it's got things floating in it, I get confused.
Speaking of confused, get this. Balducci convinced Lori that Jake's mine is somewhere right here in Copper Gorge, so he, Lori, and John Gray are hiking up the mountain out there even as we speak.
Like that bumblebrain's gonna find anything.
Sounds like now might be a good time to do some serious poking around on the train.
Good thought.
Hey, I better get going. Wish me luck.
I'll go with you. You can make me a cheeseburger.
I'll give Fatima the autograph, then I'll go back on the train before trying to open the trunk.
Got that autograph?
Autograph?
Something better, an autographed picture.
Hot dang! She spelled my name right and everything. Go ahead, little missy. Have a go at that trunk. Whatever's inside it's all yours.
There we go.
She was hanging it up. See, there it is. All right. Let's go back to the train. Now that the other characters except Charlena are out looking for the mine, I can do some exploring in the cars with them not being there, such as now playing the piano since John's not there. Okay. Go right to the piano. Okay, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Oops. Oh wait, I think I hit the right. We play all these down here, so that's G, E, G, A, G, E, E, D, F, E. Oops. Alright, try again. G, G, E, G, A, G, E, E, D, F, E, D, C. All right.
The spyglass. I'll bet it's the one I need for Jake's projector.
We also have to look at Jake's car with Tino absent because we need to get, well, this we could have easily gotten before, but we need to get it from this, a gem from this cougar statue. That's an amethyst, I think. And we need this.
Carbide. Just what I need to make that lamp I found work.
We haven't found the lamp yet. The lamp probably is in the trunk. I don't know why she says that even before you actually find the lamp. just a little glitch in the game or something made by Her Interactive. Who knows? So now let's go back to the Buells and open up the trunk using the little device from the cigar box with the combination of sequence of colors for lead. Okay. Alright, back here. Okay.
This indentation looks familiar.
Yes, it does. Lead is the key. So that combination's red, green, yellow, purple. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Something fits in here.
Okay. Red, green, blue, orange, yellow, purple. Alright, here's the lamp.
Jake's lab.
But where's the axe? And another slug.
Could come in handy. But where's his pickaxe?
Guess we'll have to ask Fatima.
Welcome back.
Have you by any chance ever come across a pickaxe that had the initials JH carved into it?
Why?
Because it used to belong to Jake Hurley, and I really, really need it. I thought it would be in that old trunk, but it wasn't.
You got that trunk open? Wait till I tell Cousin Alvin. He thinks he's so smart. As for that pickaxe, so happens I got it upstairs in my kitchen. Use it to open the coconuts Aunt Lucy sends me every year from Hawaii.
Do you think I could have it?
Why, no, you can't have it. How would I open them coconuts?
Hey, I could have just gotten you Charlena's autograph, but instead I got you an autographed picture, which is way better. You owe me.
Oh, okay. I'll let you have the pickaxe. After you do something for me.
Sure.
I got a bunch of taffy over there what needs sorting. Just follow the directions that are posted by the machine. Them belts get moving pretty fast, so you gotta keep your wits about you. While you're doing that, I'll fetch that pickaxe.
You got a deal.
Alright.
Wax paper for the taffy. Would you mind if I took a piece of wax paper? Yes, I could lift it.
That paper will be thin enough for us to rub the pillars. Okay. Now let's... pretty simple. Match them by the colors. But rejects look bad. Okay, that's strawberry, grape. You're allowed 3 chances before you make a mistake and you have to restart, so that's grape. Banana. Mango. Well, that's a reject. Another reject. You leave the rejects on the belt. Okay, that's apple. Reject. That's blueberry. Ew, that looks bad. So that's a reject. That's another. We just have a couple more left. Oh, and you gotta make sure you put them in the right place before they fall down the belt. Otherwise, that could lead to making a mistake. You have 3 chances, otherwise then you have to start over. Alright, that's done.
Got that taffy sorted?
No problem. That was easy.
You sneak any freebies while you were at it?
It was pretty tempting, but nope, I sure didn't.
Well,
Ain't you the goody two shoes?
Truth is, wouldn't have minded too much if you had, long as you fessed up to it. Here's the pickaxe. Cracked the handle pretty bad on the last batch of coconuts. You sure you want it?
Positive.
There you go. Don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Thank you.
And now we've talked to Fatima, we can't, because if you try to go back, sleeping, standing up.
Oops, sounds like somebody's taking a nap.
No one falls asleep standing up.
Hello?
Hey, it's Frank. I'm in the kitchen of the diner playing short order cook.
Has that grandchild of Dick's engineer showed up yet?
Just came in with this lady who's even older than he is. And get this, he's a retired miner, so every time I finish an order and ring the pickup bell, he thinks it's the mine shaft elevator bell. And for some reason, it makes him start telling his lady friend about his grandfather.
You mean you ring the bell and he starts talking about James Thurston?
Exactly. Of course, 5 seconds later, he's rambling on about something totally unrelated, but I just fill an order, ring the bell, and ding, he picks up
Ding.
right where he left off. That is, unless I fill the order wrong and the waitress chews me out. She's got a voice like a chainsaw. Very distracting.
Sounds like you better keep your ears open and your nose to the grindstone.
I am. Just wanted to keep you posted.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
So maybe you noticed, like, you hear it seems to switch to us playing Frank while Nancy's on the other end of the phone. So yeah, this is the first game where you have to switch roles with another character. So now we're playing briefly as Frank. Let's fill up that order. Onions, jalapenos. How can anybody stand jalapenos? Hot mustard, bacon, and cheese. So, okay, here.
You know what you want to order yet, Edna?
I'm still looking.
Did I tell you that my granddad was the engineer
Lettuce,
of a
tomato,
freight train
pickles,
owned
mayo,
by
ketchup.
one of the richest men that ever passed through Copper Gorge? Jake Hurley was his name. Yes, sir, my granddaddy was Jake's private engineer for more than 25 years. Told my daddy that men don't come
Not gonna
crazier than Jake
ring the
Hurley.
bell yet because you need to listen to the
My
conversation.
granddaddy real well and told him stuff. Real important stuff. Stuff he made my granddaddy swear to never ever forget. Stuff that my granddaddy told my daddy and that my daddy told me. Why don't you get the egg salad, Edna? Eggs are back to being good for you, you know. Seems like just last year all those scientific types were saying your arteries would clog up if you so much as looked at an egg. But nowadays, well, all of a sudden eggs are chock full of vitamins and proteins, and eating them's not only okay, it's what they recommend. They should either make up their minds or keep their mouths shut. Make eating more pleasant, that's for sure. Yes, sir, Dick Hurley told my granddaddy things he never told another living soul.
Avocado.
Not his wife. I tell you about her, Edna.
I don't.
I think that's it.
Camille was her name. Camille Boulet. That's French, you know. Of course, she got
Jelly
so
on a
young
burger?
that she
Yuck.
didn't have time to tell her anything. According to my granddaddy,
Pineapple. What do you want, a fruit burger or something?
And fell and hit her head. She didn't take well to the heat, see? Sometimes in the summer, when they were going through the desert, why, that train would be just like an oven. Hey, Granddad said she got right up afterwards and seemed okay. But a couple hours later, Jake found her in her room, dead as a doornail. Now there's another expression.
So it sounds like Camille died of, not immediate, but blunt trauma to the head.
Why not something else that begins with a D? Like dish rag or dust mop. Dead as a dust mop. That's
Dead as a-
kinda got a ring to it, don't you think?
I think I prefer dead as a doornail. Ooh, they're not supposed to make
The way
sense.
my granddaddy died, that was kind of
Everything
strange.
minus the
I ever
peas.
tell you how my granddaddy died?
No, I don't think
So that means
My dad came
everything
home from school one day to find a
except
railroad
the
official
P,
telling
anything
his
that
mom
begins with a
that
P.
Granddad been found dead in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada. He was in the engine of Jake Hurley's train, just kind of slumped over with his head still on the throttle. The strange thing is, nobody else was on board the train.
Did I put bacon
Yet the
on?
door to the engine was locked and barred. It was like
Okay,
Granddad
that
was
also
trying
includes
to
all these
keep someone out,
toppings.
like he was running from something. Like something finally scared him so bad his heart just stopped. Of course, he was in his 60s at the time. And back
But it
then,
means
that
no
was old.
pickles, peanut butter,
Doesn't
pineapple,
seem so
or
old
pickled
now,
herring.
does it?
Ugh.
Here I am pushing 93 and still spry as a
Spring chicken.
Spring chicken! Now where do you suppose that expression came from? Why not spring goose or summer chicken? Ah, life's just one puzzlement after another, isn't it, Edna?
Hey, look, Mr. Temporary Cook Person.
I knew it. I guess I put on too much bacon.
Throw a fit. This made me what's on that check, okay?
That cook had better get on the
Or did I
schedule.
forget
We're all
jelly?
gonna go deaf out here.
Oops. Listening so hard, I'm not paying thorough attention. All right, Frankie, old cat. Jelly. Oh wait, just throw it away. did I forget jalapenos? I don't know. Ugh, who wants to eat this junk? Finally.
I ever tell you about the
Chef
mine
choice.
my
Well, I'll
dad
like an old
secretly
standard
found?
classic cheeseburger.
A couple years before he died, Granddad told my daddy that Jake found a vein in the mountains somewhere and was mining it all by himself, so no one would steal it out from under him. He wouldn't even tell Granddad where the mine was. What he'd do is have Granddad drive the train real slow so he could jump off without Granddad seeing him. Then Granddad would pick him up at a prearranged spot a few days later. Oh, they didn't call him Crazy Jake Curly for nothing. Speaking of crazy, you see how much Abner's charging for a haircut at that shop of his now? $20! But what's even crazier is people are actually paying him that. I told him the only way I'd pay him $20 would be if I came in with hair down to my knees. He just laughed and said I was the crazy one. $20 for a haircut? What is this world coming to?
Right.
But the craziest thing Jake Hurley ever did was tell Granddad the secret to finding his mine. He made him swear to tell it to my daddy and nobody else. Eventually, my daddy, he told me, and it was so bizarre that I remember it to this day. So I sure don't understand how it has helped anybody find his mine.
Alright, this part is important to get what he's about to tell.
This is what Crazy Jake Hurley told Granddad, word for word. The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
Alright, that's all the locations of the gemstones. All the gemstones and where they're supposed to go in that that machinery. And I'll show you what they mean. How to interpret them.
A soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
Frank, are you sure that's what he said?
I'm positive.
Are you sure that's all he said?
Look, this guy was old, okay? I mean, we're talking Jurassic.
93.
And guys that old don't joke around. They
Yeah.
don't have time
Yeah.
to. What you just heard is what I heard, word for word.
Got anything else?
I almost forgot. You gotta check this out.
It's just an old letter, Frank.
You bet it's an old letter from Samuel Clemens.
Oh my gosh, where'd you get this?
I found it in the caboose.
Apparently, he and Jake were pen pals.
Wish I had a famous writer for a pen pal.
When Joe gave it to me, I about flipped. I know I should turn it over to Lori, and I will, but it's just so darn cool.
I still don't see what the big deal is. I mean, it's not like it's from Mark Twain or anything. What?
You don't know Mark Twain's real
Know
name?
where to find us.
Like caramba. Alright, now let's go back to the crypt and use that wax paper on each of the pillars. You can see a word it looks like there's a word here. And take the pencil. Okay. On this one, looks like a word's up here. Alright, before I do that, word looks like it's right there. And then the last one, word right here.
There's a hidden message here. I'll never find it at this rate.
Alright, now does each of those...
Wisdom, charity, purity, eternity.
Alright, so I said earlier how these halves look, the whole piece looks familiar. How? It's on that grate in the sleeping car. But those pictures are the quarters of that circle. Before I show you that though, let's try to...
An eagle. Where else have I seen an eagle?
On the scale. Okay, well, we'll have to do that. Put the, get that picture using the slugs on the scale, but first I want to show you this. So then how do I know which numbers to correctly use? Well, look here. Each piece has to represent one of these words. So wisdom, charity, eternity, purity. So how do I know the numbers for that? Well, we have to go back to Camille's car, look at the sampler and the handbook. Each of those words corresponds to an item or an animal. So, wisdom is symbolized by an owl, charity is symbolized by a dove, purity by a harp, and eternity by crown. And now we have to look at the sampler to see how we find those numbers based on the pictures. So here's the owl, 7. And then for the owl, that's 7. Let's see, the dove, 9. Eternity. Eternity as by the crown, it's the 6. And then purity by the harp, which is 3. So the code is 7963. Before I go to the scale to get the 2 for that eagle, let's fill this in. And guess what's under here?
More
Pipes.
Why am I not surprised?
And it's important that we have all the pipes connected before we do anything else.
That should
All
do
right.
it.
Okay. All right, we got all these. Now I gotta figure out the sequence. Because it doesn't matter what that, we won't need that. We just gotta get the 2. All right. And guess what's behind that eagle picture? Yes, more pipes.
And naturally,
We no more pipes. Dang. Good grief. Okay. Let's see. Dang. Oh, darn it.
There, that looks right.
Finally. Okay. And then once all the pipes are connected, we have to go to
Looks
this.
like some sort of steam valve.
Well, they should be.
Sounds like steam from the engine is moving through those pipes now.
All right. Now let's go back to the machinery car and try to put them together, all those items in place, so we can use the map to find out where the mine is. Okay. Okay, the lamp.
Looks like that goes there.
Put that carbide inside. Spyglass.
There. It should work now.
Okay. Let's put the pickaxe here. But since it's cracked, I gotta show you. We try to pull it once.
Oh no. What I need is some duct tape.
Well, luckily, John has some. Let's ask him if we can borrow it.
What's up?
I hear Tino took you and Lori for a little hike today.
Don't remind me. Turns out Tino had no idea where he was going. Good thing for him, my fingers were frozen stiff. Otherwise, I would have strangled him.
Would you by any chance have any duct tape?
Got some right there in my gearbox. That's the good news. The bad news is, I can't open the box. It's an antique lockbox that I found in this abandoned monastery I scoped out on my show last year. You can open it with either the key, which I just discovered I forgot to bring with me, or the combination, which you're supposed to be able to figure out just by looking at the box. Fortunately, I didn't put anything critical in there. I've never tried to open it without the key, but if you want that duct tape, go ahead and give it a shot.
Thanks, I think I will.
If you get it open, the duct tape's all yours.
Great.
There's an image on each of those buttons. Can you tell a story, maybe?
Yes.
I bet the animals
Should start from the left shore. So this is the beginning, and what this person will do first, all three animals, takes the cat, and let's see, leaves the cat on shore, goes back, takes the wolf, leaves the peacock, leaves the wolf, takes the cat, let's see, leaves the cat, takes the peacock, because the cat will eat the peacock if it's left alone with it. Leaves the wolf and the peacock, takes the cat, and winds up with all three animals again. All right. All right, now let's go back to that car and finally put it all together. And before I put the tape on the axe, I want to show you where to put each of them. So this is the first part. Eye of the tiger, which is this one, fixed on a star. So there's little items here that'll show you, make a reference to those lines. So zircon, which is this yellow one, fixed on fingers, that scar, that clawed foot. So yeah, they're not going to tell you directly what it is, but it's little images of things that reference in those lines. So I don't know if you remember this, but Finn's on there was this postcard in the dining car that showed this that said "hand from the deep," so I know that that's right, where the amethyst goes. Let's see, and citrulline is what the foul mouth shall keep. Then that's that foul mouth, that beak, bird beak. And look, as you know where I'm going, I'm doing this in the correct sequence. Like they're going, as I go from all the way to the left, it's in the correct sequence that they need to be. So, tourmaline, soft hand ensnared, that octopus arm, and that's how you know that hand from the deep is the fish fin from that postcard in the dining card. That's the clue to know the difference and make sure it's not, Jem's not put in the wrong spot. So this then is easy. The last one, peridot, rests at the foot of the mare, this horse hoof.
Whoa,
Oh.
looks like I did something right.
Yes, you did. All right, now let's put the tape on the axe and pull it, and then we should be good to go in with it activating and show us where the mine is located. I think that shows it's good to go. If, yep, all green, I'll go. Wow, look at all that. Alright, looks like the mine is in Brimstone Canyon.
That's where Jake's mine is. Brimstone Canyon.
Don't you look all excited. What's up?
I think I know where Jake's mine is. Tell the engineer to head for a place in Nevada called Brimstone Canyon.
Way to go. I knew you could do it, Francie.
Not Francie, Nancy.
Here's the deal. When we get there, I'm going to make sure that you get to be the first one to check out the mine. I'll call everyone together in the dining car, and while we're in there, you slip off the train. Will 10 minutes be enough of a head start?
That'd be great.
Think of it as your reward. Of course, anything you find in the mine is, well, mine. So if I find out that you've taken something without telling me, let's just say things could get ugly.
Don't worry, you can trust me.
I have the feeling that thanks to you, we are about to discover something huge. Great job, Amy.
Thank you.
I don't think she really bothers to learn Nancy's name or anyone else's, unless they have some significance to her. So, what does she call her? Natalie, Nadine, Francie, Amy. Yeah, it's Nancy! Alright, now it's go.
Sounds like the train's
Uh-oh.
leaving. Where's it going? Well, Frank and Jill will make sure it comes back for me. I hope.
Alright. We are here at the mine, but look.
No, that's gotta be the entrance to Jake's mine, but it's totally blocked by boulders.
Alright. And here's another random puzzle. It's just, yeah, once you get it down, then you figure out the correct sequence. Alright, should shoot, and the mine will be unveiled. The entrance, I mean. Jeepers. Alright, let's go in.
Oh, right. This is the entrance to Jake's mine. Whoa, what's going on here?
What the
Jake's
heck?
color wheel seems to be pointing toward purple. Wow, glowing lizards. Cool.
But weird. Well, yes, it may be pointing us in the direction to go, but we do need to stop and look at some things. Let's get this symbol on here. There's a reason for that. Let me show you what it is. Okay, go this way. I wonder what this is.
Another symbol.
Are these important? Yes, they are.
Jake must have made those symbols. The question is, why?
Well, look at this. Obviously, this is a sequence of some kind. These are in Roman numerals and with pictures of something. Well, you know what? I just saw a symbol here next to, right here with this fire pit. That means that must be the second symbol we need to choose for something. And we just saw another one with that fish. Now I need to know where the other 4 symbols are and make sure I pick them in the right order when necessary. All right. Now let's, I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction here. Because I think if I go that way, then I think I get lost. Jeepers. Okay. Oh look, here's another one. That must be that boulder from the picture. That's with this fourth symbol. Now I got 3 down, 3 to go. Oh look, another symbol then. Well, it must be that. It's not a real snake, but it's a picture of a snake. That's the third symbol. It makes it the third symbol. So now I need to find the other two. Ouch. Oh, that's not a brush burn. Alright, look. That's not a real cactus, but you can see it's in the shape of one, so that means right here's the first symbol. Okay, that's 5 down, 1 to go. So I found for the cactus, the fire, the snake, the boulder, the fish. Now that's left is the bat, the last symbol. So now let's go forward like where I was supposed to, right here, and past the snake symbol again. The symbol next to the snake, I mean. Okay. Okay, that's a dead end. Oops, I think I went down the wrong space again. I bet that hurt. Okay, let me try that again then. Okay. Okay, so it's red, so I'm going the right direction. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. As you come up, wherever you come upon, if the color wheel tells you where you're supposed to go.
Now it's pointing toward purple.
Okay. Well, look here.
There's some kind of chamber on the other side of those poles. But if I move the wrong one, the ceiling will collapse. Jake was too meticulous not to have left a clue somewhere as to how you're supposed to move them.
Oh.
I wonder if it has something to do with those
Are you
symbols
sure
I
he
saw
didn't?
before.
Well, before I do that, though, last symbol is right here. But where are the bats? Well, I'll tell you. Right up there. So, if you remember the sequence starting with the cactus, here's that symbol next to it.
I've seen that symbol before. Okay, so far so good.
With the fire pit, next to the fire was that symbol. So yeah, you need to remove the planks, the order of the symbols that we saw that they show in the fire pit with those pictures. So there's the symbol next to the snake plank, the hanging boulder symbol right there. The one next to the fish is right here. Oh, and if you pick the wrong ones, you're going to have a fatal error. So we have one more. That one right there.
Get through there now.
And bada bang. Jake Hurley, I presume. Picture of Camille.
Camille. It figures he'd be carrying a picture of her. There's something underneath it. Looks like a letter. April 14th, 1865. Your humble friend,
Abe? Abraham Lincoln?
Oh my gosh. This is from Abraham Lincoln.
The day he was
April 14th is
assassinated.
The day he was assassinated.
Wow.
This letter must be worth a fortune.
That's just what I thought too.
Lori?
See, what I didn't tell you when I gave you that letter Jake wrote to Ruth is that I also found his diary, which is how I found out he'd gotten to be friends with President Lincoln, and that he'd gotten a letter from Abe that he knew would be so valuable someday that he always kept it on his person. Can I have it?
Sure.
See, I
Hey.
knew if we could just find Jake's body, we'd find the letter. And you did it, Amy. You did it. I'm going to be famous. Good famous for once.
So you never really cared about finding Jake's mine?
Nah, I mean, it would have been nice if it was filled with gold and silver and stuff, but this is what I was really after.
And you followed me because you didn't trust me?
I trusted you to find it. I just didn't trust you to give it to me. And now that you have, you know, I'd really, really be famous if I could say I found this all by myself. But even if I got you to lie for me, how do I know you'd keep lying? Oh my gosh. What if there was like this cave-in and we were trapped, but I was the only one who made it out?
Excuse me?
Oh my gosh! That way I could not only say that I found the letter, but that I tried to save you. Only you did something stupid, and it was all I could do to save myself. Oh my gosh! I'd make the national news for sure, and people would say I was smart and resourceful and courageous even.
Are you
Look,
serious?
You can't be serious. That's crazy.
You don't understand. People are finally going to respect me. I have to do this. Sorry.
Lori? How dare she? All just to gain fame and publicity.
It'll take forever to dig through those rocks. There's gotta be another way out of here.
Yes, there is.
Maybe I could get out of here in this.
This minecart. But of course, as always with the end of Nancy Drew games, there's a hitch. Gotta wait to avoid it. So that's a death skull right there, so you gotta take the opposite direction to make sure you don't... Otherwise, you'll just by default go on the track with the deadly skull on it picture. Okay, so... And I know they come up pretty fast, but they give you the idea of what you... But you gotta act fast. Okay. So it should be just one more track, and then I'm good. Yeah, that one comes fast, so it's right, 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 left, left. Alright, we're home free. And I bet she didn't expect us to get out so soon, if ever. Oh, now she got her outfit all dirty.
Lori, are you alright?
Nancy, is everything okay?
It is now.
As soon as we discovered you and Lori weren't on the train, we jumped off and hightailed it back here.
What the heck's going on?
I'm sure Lori will be glad to tell you all about it.
Darn you, Natalie.
It's Nancy.
Dear Hannah, some host as Lori Gerard turned out to be. When her father heard that she tried to seal me up in that mine, he canceled all her credit cards and said that from now on, Lori will have to support herself. She has yet to stop crying. Tino Balducci told reporters that he knew what Lori was up to all along and said he let Frank, Joe, and me solve the case so we amateurs could enjoy his limelight.
Oh, yeah.
Joe was just about to belt him when a big argument broke out between John Gray and Charlena over whether John had really recorded Camille's ghost. She started calling him a crackpot, and then he started calling her a hack. Then, well, let's just say that soon the press was no longer interested in what Tino had to say. As for Jake Hurley, it turns out that his letter from Abe Lincoln is worth a small fortune. Pretty ironic, huh? Jake spent his whole life searching for gold, when all along he possessed something far more valuable, his uncanny knack for making friends. Love, Nancy.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, well, that's interesting. I usually can't remember what awards I get for this game, but yeah, I did a fast arrangement of the dolls. Hello, Dolly. Oh, I like that.
Have you ever been to Paris, France? Well, preparez-vous, because that's where my next mystery adventure takes place. I'm going to be the assistant.
And this is Danger by Design preview for it.
I'll be working undercover to find out why she's been acting so peculiar lately. Throwing tantrums, firing people. She's even started wearing a mask for no apparent reason. Her studio is in this spooky-looking centuries-old moulin. That's French for windmill. Of course, that doesn't have anything to do with her strange behavior.
Or does it?
One way to find out. Help me solve my next case. Danger by Design. À la prochaine.
Alright, so that's the end of my walkthrough for Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I guess it's not one of the tops, but this is definitely another favorite of mine because it is a history mystery. Learn about, even though it's fictitious, learn about Jake Hurley, and we do find something that is treasure-wise, although it's not what we expect. I mean, how can you not call that letter treasure? It's definitely worth something, especially carry from a famous person, have it written the day he was assassinated. Yeah, it's definitely worth something, I'd say. But I was kind of perplexed that Laurie was the culprit by the end, because it's usually pretty much never the characters who act as hosts that are, so that makes the ending a little bit not as well liked for me as some of the others. And I was a little surprised that that's all she was after, looking for the mine, just that letter, rather than any sort of valuables. Now listen to that music. It's the same music playing when I escaped from the mine in that little cart. Well, it was great to be able to play this again and make a video of it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you're still enjoying my videos. Well, I hope you'll stick around for the next one, for those to come, that are still to come. I'm running out of things to say here when I get to the end, but just like to give a final goodbye of saying I hope you're enjoying them, hope you enjoyed this. So it's a few moments till the final credits roll, but again, I'm enjoying doing this. I hope you guys enjoy listening to me and watching as I play. So bye for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.